They say you are what you eat, so I don't eat chicken feet. But I love me some of Grandma's pickled beets. Well, cut it up, put it in the pan, throw it over your shoulder and see where it lands right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Maters, taters, beans and corn, the cows in the barn and the sheep's been shorn, kids in the barnyard chasing Grandpa's chicken. Spices, slices, cuts and dices, gonna slash your grocery prices right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Help you grow your garden good with recipes to suit your mood. Try some grub you've never tried before. Smash it with a wooden mallet. Gonna educate your palate. Right here in Farmer's Kitchen. In Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. We're gonna cook something good now.
Hello and welcome to Tim Farmer's Dry Country Kitchen.
It's nice to be inside.
Where we're going to cook outside. And once again, the rain got us. Now as we look outside, it's raining while the sun is shining.
But it looks pretty and the grass is growing.
It does look pretty, and we've mowed this year.
Yes, a lot.
A lot. And this is the first year that I have decided to go out there and fertilize.
A good idea, huh? With all the rain.
Bad move. We got a great show for you tonight. We're going to ask you to expand your taste buds a little bit. Now, nobody likes the same stuff when they were 10, 12 years old that they do when they're 40 or 30. So we're going to ask you to step outside your comfort zone and try something you might not have tried for a while. Now, not everybody likes mushrooms. A lot of people do. But we just recently found out how good they were. Now, in the spring, here in Kentucky, always right around turkey season, what do we look for?
Morels.
That's what I'm talking about. I think delicious.
Delicious.
What's your favorite way to have them?
Just fried in butter with onions.
A little bit of garlic.
I love it.
You just can't beat it. Now, we did a show not too long ago with Rick Hill. We were over on his property in Shelbyville, and this was on Kentucky Field. We went out searching for these. And again, keep in mind that mushrooms are all over the place this year. It's very wet out, and when it's wet, moist, hot, warm,
lots of mushrooms.
There'll be a fungus among us. Now, right now, there are very, very native species going on that we can talk about if we find them. When we do run up on them, we'll let you know.
Right.
In the fall, be prepared to watch out for this sometimes basketball size.
I like that.
What was that? You remember?
That was, what was that? The
Puffball.
puffball. Yes, it was huge. Ours was huge.
Generally, when I'm in a deer stand, you know, you spend a lot of time kind of bored when nothing's moving. So you're looking out, and I saw this big white. I thought, who left their soccer ball in the woods? And I thought, oh no. I wonder if that's it. We brought it back. Was that not delicious?
And I put it in the Swiss steak. Remember, I put almost all of it.
Oh.
It became mushroom steak. Remember, you said, "What'd you do?" Because it's so good.
It just has the right consistency,
I love
right
it.
flavor. It's perfect. Now we're going to talk about mushrooms because 'tis the season. But we also ask you to try. If you haven't tried them here lately, you might want to try them again. Now there are folks who are growing mushrooms in Kentucky, and we visited with one tonight. But tonight we're going to have a recipe that came out of necessity. We have certain things in our refrigerator. We visited with a fellow who's growing mushrooms. That's why we have these here. We're going to do a recipe for you tonight where we replace the protein that we would normally put with mushrooms.
Yummy.
These are purple velour green beans. We went by St. Matthew's Feed and Seed, an old established store that's been selling seeds and stuff for years and years and years. There was a fellow outside who we're going to visit next year, his farm, who was selling tomatoes and these purple velour green beans, which have a very similar flavor, the same thing, just a different pigment.
Yeah.
And they have a very sweet taste. And in nature, if you look it up, a lot of the purple vegetables are the more healthy. They're finding out that the purple cabbage and beets and things like that really are helping your health out.
Maybe the kids will like them with the color.
They're
pretty.
I tried one, I took a bite, and they are very sweet. So basically what we're going to do is make a dish tonight that's consisting of all these flavors. Something you might want to add to your cabinet that makes some wonderful, it's just so easy. It's already pre-prepared spice-wise for you. Oyster sauce.
Yum.
For stir fries.
Very good.
Most of you have probably tried this if you do stir frying. Or some Bangkok peanut sauce if you like a little spicy and that peanut butter taste, a little bit of ginger in there. Now, what we're going to do is take the stuff we have in the refrigerator. And you asked me what we're going to make this week.
We're eating healthy.
We're eating healthy.
Very healthy.
You know what? We're going to go to Upton, Kentucky. Upton, Kentucky, where a recently found friend of mine is growing these himself. We're in Upton, Kentucky today. And this is Andrew Barnes with Prayer Mountain Mushrooms. Well, how did I get that name?
We wanted a name that really spoke to the power and majesty of the mushroom. It fits.
The kind of mushrooms you grow here do not make you take trips to other planets.
Correct.
These are the kinds that are just absolutely delicious. Probably my favorite are the Shiitake and Oyster, which is sitting right over there.
Yeah.
Now, you told me today when I came here that you're going to send me home with some. That's the terrible part of this job. Sometimes I just have to take home stuff.
Oh, poor Tim.
But I'll probably put it to good use. We'll probably put it in a recipe on our show.
Wonderful.
Let's get to the good part here. You do all this yourself. You have a building over there where you grow these massive quantities of mushrooms. How did all this get started?
It's been quite a journey. My wife and I have grown mushrooms as a hobby for many years, and then she went to the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife's Becoming Outdoor Women program.
It's a good outfit.
Yeah, and learned about cultivating gourmet mushrooms for profit. Came home and pitched me this wild idea of, how would you like to start a mushroom farm? I said, well, that's something we could probably do. And so we set out basically trying to figure out why we shouldn't do that. And we couldn't. And in the process, we wrote a business plan and got funding, and here we are.
Now let's back up a little bit on the mushroom itself. All right, I love mushrooms. I could eat them in just about it. We put them in chili. We put them in almost everything. What's the nutritional value of a mushroom? What's important in it that we need?
Well, what's most important with a mushroom and what makes it really powerful food item is that these guys have protein. They've got vitamin D, one of the few non-animal sources, and they are chock full of really great compounds that are healthful. You'll find compounds that help with cholesterol. On a gourmet level, they contain glutamate, which stimulates parts of your tongue that you're not normally used to, but you have receptors for. And so that's where you get that savory flavor. Some people call it the umami flavor. And it's a really powerful food.
All right, you're around them all the time, and I know you have to eat them. What's your favorite way? If you're eating just eating a mushroom, how would you eat it? Let's say shiitake.
Yeah, you know what? We put them in everything. People always ask us for recipes, and I say, whatever you normally cook, chop them up and add them. And it's super easy. Steak is one of my favorites. Chop them up, saute them in a pan, and put them on top of your steak.
Now, you have several different things that you obviously, these are fungus. They grow in their natural state. How would you find these? If you were looking for shiitake mushrooms in their extremely wonderful habitat that they like, how would you find that?
Yeah, you would go to Japan.
That's a long trip.
Assuming that you could find them locally, they would be growing on trees, hardwood trees, lots of shade, lots of moisture. So spring, fall, you might find them then. Farmers love to grow them on logs, and so, you may find some just wandering about.
Here, you have your environment over here that you've created with a greenhouse in effect, and you have these multiple packets. Explain how you put those together to get your final product.
So we start with hardwood sawdust and nutrient water. We mix them all together, and we have a machine that puts it into little bags. So those bags we prepare for inoculation by using an autoclave, and we run hundreds through at a time. And when we're done, we have these really great, nice, clean bags of substrate. It's basically sawdust. And from there, we're going to put about a thimbleful of live fungal organism in there, seal it up, and then let it sit. And so for oyster mushrooms, you're going to let it sit for 6 weeks. For shiitake, you'll let it sit for 6 months.
6 months. Wow. All right, now I've got a question for you. I'm seeing these, I guess these are getting close to being harvested.
That's right.
Now, in the spring, when I collect morel mushrooms, man, they grow so rapidly. I wonder about this little nubby guy right here. Where will he be tomorrow and the next day? How fast do they grow?
So these guys are actually going to double in size about every 24 hours.
Wow.
Now it slows down as they approach their maximum size, but until they get there, it's boom, and then they just slow down, and then you pick them. The cap here actually curls outward as it ripens, and so it approaches an edge. So you can see these guys they would have been ready this morning, but I left them to show you here that as that edge curls out, that's how you can tell, really.
So they let you know by the physical characteristics what's going on when they need to be harvested.
Exactly.
So this guy tomorrow is going to be about that size.
Exactly. And then that guy will be one of these, and these guys tomorrow will be one of those.
So when these are harvested, you take them from the very base of the stalk?
That's right. So we come right in here and very gingerly remove it, and there it is. So
the whole shebang right there. Now, do you eat the stalks on these?
Well, no, we don't eat them. You can save them and actually boil them into stock, which is delicious. Mushroom stock is fantastic.
Now, once this growth has taken place, is this little block done, or will it send more out later?
That block is going to keep going, and as long as you keep it hydrated, it can last for 3 to 4, maybe 5 months.
Oh, wow.
And it's important to note that when we harvest these, they have come out of a bag of clean sawdust, and they have never seen dirt. So these don't even have to be cleaned. You can just chop them, eat them right as we harvest them. So we're going to harvest, and we're going to take them to farmers markets. We're going to take them to your favorite restaurants, and get them out there as much as we can to grocers as well. You know, it is something that folks that want to get into growing mushrooms, there's a lot of resources, and it is so much fun. It is tremendously enriching to watch something grow, and especially when you can do it up close and personal like that. So for people interested, University of Kentucky has a great resource on how to convert some of your logs at home and do it in your backyard.
I think I'd rather just let you do it and buy them from you.
Well, you know, we are here for we're here for you.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, let's take a walk and a look around. And I thank you so much for taking your time out for it. This is a cool place, and you're doing great things.
Thank you, sir. We really appreciate you guys coming out.
You kind of see where we're going here. This is our protein. We're going to take these shiitakes and these oyster mushrooms, which we really... Wasn't that impressive?
Yes, it was.
Was that cool to see somebody who's taking the effort? You know, it's that you just don't walk in there and say, "Hey, we're doing this."
Right.
Huge amount of time and effort, and I mean, what
And
a
they're
nice
beautiful.
guy.
Look at them. They're beautiful mushrooms. I love
this
it.
guy. What really cracks me up about this guy is he goes to a BOW conference and comes away with a way to make a living.
Yeah.
Isn't that
And
cool?
he's doing a great job.
And we want to give Beth and Norm a big thumbs up for the
That's
BOW
right.
program. They do great things over there. All right, now here's what we're going to do. You work on the oysters, I'll
Okay.
work on the shiitakes. We're going to take the stems off, and then we're just basically cut them up into. If you were going to do this with chicken, let's figure out what size of a piece of chicken that we'd want.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is I'm going to take a piece about like this. Now they're going to shrink up as we saute them. So I'm figuring, oh, look at that! Look how fresh that is.
So why are we cutting the stems off? Why is that?
Now they're a little tough and rubbery if you tried to eat them like the rest of the mushrooms, but like he said, the flavor's there.
Yeah.
So you could, you know,
That's right,
use
use
those
the
for
stock.
stock and have that wonderful nutty flavor. So we've taken our purple velour green beans, and what we're going to do, now you could steam them. We're going to boil ours just for probably 3 or 4 minutes. We want to have a little bit of that integrity, you know, not crunchy, but you know, we want them to have just still a little bit of texture there.
Right.
All right, Mrs. Farmer, let's take some olive oil. Now we're going to take some onions. Now in a minute, since August just rolled out, a lot of people thinking, oh, the gardening season's over. No, it's just beginning for a lot of things. You can start right over do some lettuce, some beans, all kinds of stuff. We're going to talk with the seed dude, St. Matthew's Feed and Seed, who knows about seeds and fall gardening. Now we're going to take some of our beautiful mushrooms. You could do this with chicken, you could do it with anything, but we're going to use...
Just kind of throw them in.
I'm just going to kind of throw them in here. So we're just going to saute these up. And as the mushrooms shrink down, we might add a little bit more. And if you'll notice, our purple velour beans,
They turn green.
they lost some of their purple. But we cooked them just long enough to tender them up a bit. You know that we are in a huge black pepper shortage here in the United States. You did know that, right?
I do know.
You know why?
Because
The Pepper Bandit! He hit the main black pepper train that runs from Vermont
he keeps us stocked.
to
too.
South America.
Yeah.
And he just totally, he totally took all the black pepper. He loves it so much. take just a little salt and pepper.
Okay. Yum.
Now, we cut some garlic up. Did you notice that I'm not putting that in till last?
Yeah, I noticed that. Why is that?
Well, if you put your garlic in here and it gets too hot, it's bitter.
That's true.
We don't want
That's
that.
true.
That's going to be our last one. It's going to still have some texture in it, like you like it.
I do like it.
You're going to know
I
it's
get to
there.
eat it. You probably won't kiss me later, will you?
Nope, not unless
Okay.
you pay me $1.
Okay.
At this point, let's go ahead and I'm going to make a little spot for our garlic right here. You can
Okay.
toss that in because we're getting ready to cool things down.
You want
just a
all of
little
it?
bit. Yeah, go ahead. Now see it's getting there. I'm going to mix it in with everything else.
Yum.
You like where we're going here?
I do. It smells delicious.
What let's do, let's take a little bit of chicken broth. Now we're going to put our oyster sauce in here. That's
smells
probably
good.
a heaping tablespoon. A heaping.
That smells wonderful.
Now, what's next?
Green beans?
Green beans. And we're just going to simmer these. We're going to toss them around real quick. Let everything get all acquainted. And that's going to be our main dish for the evening. I'll have a side of corn and tomatoes. Now, Mrs. Farmer.
Yes?
Would you mind to get me some red pepper flakes?
I'll do it. A little bit hot.
Just a little bit of heat in there for us. Look what we got going here.
It does look like chicken.
Doesn't it? Now, just to give it just a little bit of sweet and just a little bit of zing, let's take our peanut butter sauce, which I wasn't going to use, but I'm going to.
It smells so good. You can shake it up.
Just a tad. Now, you don't need much of this, just a little bit. Let's think about a little bit of fall gardening.
Okay.
It's August. It's a good time to start planting some stuff.
It'd be cooler. I like that.
Exactly. So let's go
Good.
to St. Matthew's Feed and Seed and see if we can find the seed dude.
Okay.
All right, we're out here on Chitterwith today in downtown Louisville almost at St.
the most
Matthew's
part.
Feed and Seed with Ross.
Good to see you.
Ross is the seedsman or seed dude.
There you go.
Either one works, right?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, now, I talked to you on Facebook not too long ago and you said, hey, I want to put you in some seeds.
Sure.
So let's talk about the fact that it's August,
Yep.
all right? Gardening does not have to be done or over. You can start all over again.
That's right. A lot of people think that the garden's a spring and summertime thing, but a lot of people's gardens, you know, tomatoes are coming on right now really good. And a lot of people think that it's just over after that. August 1st is usually, you know, kind of a standby day to start the fall garden.
Recently, I've seen some people that are taking bales of straw, wetting them down, putting their seeds in there, and it seems to be working pretty good. If you don't have a lot of space or just have a backyard.
You sure could. There's a lot of things like that. Raised bed gardening, square foot gardening, container gardening, smart pots, little, you know, anything that you can get some soil in and grow in, you know, people have done it.
All right, let's talk about some of the obvious things that you can plant in August.
Sure. A lot of greens, lettuce, mustards, spinach, broccoli, carrots, beets. I always advise people grow something that you're gonna enjoy eating, so you don't lose interest in taking care of it.
So a lot of times now people are coming in here thinking, okay, deer season's right around the corner.
Sure.
So it's not just stuff that
Yeah.
we eat. What else have you got in here?
We've got a lot of stuff for the deer hunters. Sugar beets. Recently spoke with a guy from Fish and Wildlife a couple years ago, Jason Nally. He's a land biologist there, and he said that they're recommending right now to do 9 pounds of clover per acre.
Oh, wow.
5 pounds of red to 4 pounds of white for food plots, and they found that works best for growing a deer population.
Oh, wow. Clover, clover, clover.
Yeah, and a lot of guys see this stuff on TV and they want sugar beets and they want everything that they see on TV, but you know, I like to tell people, take advantage of your university and extension services. They've done studies and they know exactly what they're talking about.
So this St. Matthew's Feed and Seed, this is not something that just popped up a couple years ago. It's got a little history.
They like to say our slogan is well rooted since 1920.
I saw a picture of a guy herding goats up to the front of the store.
Yeah. Started right over here on Gilman, just around the corner here in somebody's backyard in a garage.
Well, that's impressive. Let's go inside. I know
Sure,
you've got a chart
sure.
we can look at and kind of show us some seeds.
Oh yeah, it's cool in
Because you
there
are
too.
the seed dude.
Yeah, come on.
All right, Ross, we've come inside here and we actually see many, many seeds.
Oh yeah.
There's the packs that we're used to, but you can buy in bulk here if you need a lot more.
Half
And
pounds, packets, ounces.
so as much as you need.
Yeah, as small or as large of a scale as you'd like.
Now you've got something here. It's a handy-dandy Kentucky Gardener's Fall Vegetable Planting Guide. And as you look on here, you see beets, Bibb lettuce, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and it shows the varying areas. This is so handy to have.
Sure. A lot of things that I like about this is it'll show you the spacing. A lot of people put things too close together, too far apart, not enough room, and then it affects their harvest.
Now, what causes you to get interested in this? You've been throwing some names around that are very familiar to me with Fish and Wildlife, and what makes you interested in this whole
I just
seed
enjoy
thing?
it. It's fun. It's a lot better than sitting in an office. You know, you get to meet good people. Everybody that comes in here for the most part's happy. They're
Close to the earth.
Yeah, they're doing something they enjoy, and you know, there's nobody that comes in here in down mood and whining or complaining about something. It's just really positive.
And you ate all your vegetables growing up.
Oh yeah,
a
few of them.
You ate more than me,
Yeah.
apparently.
That's right.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to shop around a little bit,
Sure.
and I tell you what I do want for sure: Brussels sprouts and cabbage. Now, cabbage. If you have your early cabbage, what problems do you find?
A lot of people have problems with the insects on their cabbages.
Daggone little pretty little yellow butterfly, or white butterfly
Sure.
lays those little eggs in the larvae.
There's one that's called a stonehead cabbage that a lot of people like to grow because it's really tight and compact, and a lot of people think that it helps keep the bugs out of it.
I'll tell you what, you mentioned something else too, these colorful carrots for kids trying this the first time.
For kids, that's something to keep them interested in. Purple, orange, yellow, red, white. Radishes would be something else good for kids. They're usually 20, 25 days. So you know,
that's a quick turnaround.
Short attention span of a child, something to keep them, you know, 1 month project.
Folks out there who think the gardening season's over now, the old timers, like Bobby Joe, he knows about the fall garden. He knows about burying the cabbage and all that kind of stuff. But it's not over. It can just be beginning for you. So let's go pick some seeds out. So you think your garden season is over. Guess what? Green beans.
Oh yeah.
You're talking green beans. I
August
didn't
1st.
get my green beans out this year, so there's hope for me yet. Thank you so much for
Thanks
talking
for
with us.
coming.
And
Appreciate it.
you know what? Throughout the year, maybe we should touch base with you and see what's going on. Spring's right around the corner. Time flies. And tell us what's new out there and things we can do and little tricks and tips that our folks out there can benefit from. Because you are the seed dude. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Tell me your thoughts, Mrs. Farmer, just visually.
Yum. I can't wait. Want to try one? Can I try one?
This is something I would have done with chicken normally, so
Try
give it a
mushroom.
shot. Tell me what you think.
I love it.
Now the flavors of the Bangkok peanut sauce and the oyster sauce have really given that a depth.
Can I eat the whole thing and you eat the corn?
All right. If you've missed some recipes that we've done and would like to see them, we're on YouTube. Go to timfarmerscountrykitchen.com. Check out our gazillions of shows we have on there that you can look at. And don't forget to check out our Facebook page where we talk to our friends, our Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen friends, on our Facebook page. Like it. Tell your friends about it. I'm keeping you from eating.
I know you are. I'm looking
It's
at
all
it.
about
Good times
good friends.
and wonderful eats.
See you next week on Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. I really do like this.
To order a cookbook or DVD of the show, please call 502-319-0487 or email timfarmerck@gmail.com. Special thanks to CKY, Canoe, Kentucky, Furniture World Superstore, Housewarmings, Lodge Cast Iron, Tater Knob Pottery and Farm,